welcome to the first proper video from the Adlington server. This server is available to all patrons and all Twitch subscribers and a select few VIPs. In this video we're going to start working on our first mega project of the server. In this case it is Castle Ravenloft from the Curse of Strahd D&D adventure. The first point of business is to create a grid. This is a 3x3 meter grid and it extends, I believe, 53 in one direction, 34 or so in another direction. That's units, so times that by 3 for the actual Minecraft dimension. This will mimic the canon maps of Castle Ravenloft, which use a 10-foot grid, and 10 foot is roughly equivalent to 3 meters, so that is what we're basing this off of here. I quickly create the grid using World Edit's copy and paste features, and now we're ready to start designing the castle proper. Now I do also want to put a column in the center of the grid here. This will just mark where the highest point. Castle Ravenloft itself is about 360 feet, which is about 110 meters. And again, using the copy and paste features from World Edit, we can start stacking 10 unit high towers on top of each other to quickly get up to 110 meters. Now the current height limit of Minecraft is 256, at least until the next update comes out. This fits comfortably inside of it. Now Castle Ravenloft itself is some 1,000 foot above Barovia. We cannot do that because that is like 340 odd meters, something like that. We are going to move our grid some 60 blocks upwards. Should work like that. Excellent. In fact, we're just going to move everything up another 20 blocks, just so we can get that maximum height that we can, and get as close as we can to the actual village, or the actual castle above the village. We're going to start on the east side of the castle here. In fact, we can cut off a bunch of this grid too. It's only one little part that kind of juts out into this area. That part, however, is got lots of thin walls on it. The nature of Minecraft and D&D is that not everything is the same size. So this should be our middle two here, which are going to get essentially a little wall built around here, and they should be right in the middle of our current layout. And this area here is an overlook balcony which overlooks the city of Barovia. There's also a couple of little side buildings here that amount to not a whole bunch of anything, just kind of jutting onto the edge. And here there's a couple of rounded buildings as well. So this entire section should be about 5 units deep. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in fact we could bring this wall all the way out to here, because then we have a big thick 1 unit wall flanking on the other side here. And like I said, we've got a big thick wall here. This area surrounds what is called the chapel garden, and then the main bulk of the castle is going to be over there. And this area just kind of sits as a little courtyard behind it. With this wall being as thick as it is, it's very easy to adhere it to the grid. So then this area here is actually all wall. This is the main perimeter wall of the castle, which will extend most of the way down to there. It'll have a little kind of turret jutting out as well, and all the way around the edge. So essentially all of this area is going to be open space. We don't need any of that grid. Same roughly on the other side. Pretty much mirror copy. And over on this side, things do get a little bit different and a little bit interesting. This area here is going to be the carriage house. And don't forget, if you would like to join the Adlington server and explore some of these builds, Spawn, and some other future builds that I've planned for yourself, even making your own mega projects, it is open to all $5 patrons or higher, and all subscribers on Twitch. And on Patreon, your monthly pledges can also go towards earning products. These are exclusive Adlington products, which you can only get through the Patreon program. There's t-shirts, mugs, posters, all kinds of cool stuff being designed. And for October only, and when this video comes out, I believe it's only going to be like 2 more days, so go to Patreon now, you can get yourself a free spooky ghost. Because over in the twitch.tv/Adlington for Spooktober this year and last year, we've been making tissue paper ghosts. And I have way too many tissue paper ghosts. I need to get rid of them. So I will give those to any, I believe it's $5 tier patrons or higher. And we're just cresting across the west side here of this main courtyard area. And these walls here, which enclose the courtyard, are meant to be some 90 foot high. That puts them about 27.5 meters, and that is 27 there, so here's some tall boy walls. That is the layout for the outer walls of the castle completed, with a little bit of the inner area of the castle too. And we're just going to continue to lay out the castle proper here. I'm undecided as to if I want to raise the castle up a block and have the entire, like this level be the foundation and then the walls start from there, or if I want it to be the same level as the courtyard. I'm going to have to go through the various descriptions and see if there's any one that does make sense. I think I'm coming out the wrong. And this here would be the servant courtyard, this being a wooden door leading to, I believe, the servant area of the castle. And then there's this curious little part of the wall here which kind of juts out and surrounds this area. I'm not 100% familiar what that is. I will go through the descriptions again at some point. So I think our castle is just a little off. A little skewed in one direction. This side is a little close, that side is a little far away, and that should be a nice diagonal to that corner. This is lined up though. So I'm guessing it's this length along here. Ah, I see it. This here was meant to come one little bit further in. So what we're going to do to fix that is go here. Make that our first position. Go here, make that our second position. We're going to be moving south 3 blocks. Move south 3. There we go. Oh, good. And it filled it in with dirt. Why would it do that? Oh, I always get that the wrong way around. Hang on. We're going to do an undo. And then we're going to go move 3 south. There we go. That should line everything back up to the grid. Just with a little bit of space over here. So actually, after this section here, we have a lot of curves on this side of the castle. So we've got a curve that's going to come out along down to there, and then a second one. So we're going to go with our straight edges over here first. Alright, I think that's the best approximation of the curves that I can make. Just using the plot.co.uk tool to mark out an ellipsis, and then using quarter of that ellipsis. Just kind of check them against the map here. It's not perfect, but it's Minecraft. It was never going to be perfect for curves. Either way, that's the castle layout proper. All of the courtyard walls and the castle foundation itself. We're now ready to, I guess, construct the outside walls. That's probably what we should do first. Actually, what I do want to do is set our bridge up first and then do the proper warp location for that. So for the actual bridge itself, we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this should be the other end of the bridge here. And by that point, it should be on land. The land will probably stretch out to about there. And then somewhere around here, we're going to have some relatively small towers, just kind of little guard towers. And I think that's a good position for the tower. Just need to do the one on the other side here, which I think would be about here. Using the hollow cylinder command. It's not bad. Not bad at all. And then all this other stuff we can get rid of. Eventually we'll probably set the warp further down the path of Castle Ravenloft. But for right now, we're going to do a set warp. Ravenloft. Alright, so this should be one massive section of wall here. We're going to try something using World Edit. Now we could do a simple set stone bricks like that to make the entire thing stone bricks. I'm wondering if we can randomize it with some of the other stone types as well. Or at least some of the other stone brick patterns. As far as I can see, the castle walls are largely made of stone brick. Made with some smooth parapets, whatever the gaps are at the tops of the castle walls. So instead, if we do set stone bricks, mossy stone bricks, cracked stone bricks, and then maybe some just actual plain stone. Now if we give these some percentages, so if we go, say, 5% on the stone, let's go 8% on the cracked stone bricks, 8% on the mossy stone bricks. We'll drop this to 4, and then a 16, 20, and then we can set 80%, although I don't think the percentages need to add to 100, but whatever. We'll do this set command, and that will mix in some mossy and some cracked and some regular. That doesn't look half bad. That looks okay. It breaks up the monotony. And then we should just be able to continue this all the way round here and not have to worry too much about what everything is. It's going to be a nice big one here. Boom. Now, I've not been able to find a clear image of these guys here. I believe they're just meant to be little gatehouses. Little gate towers. Which houses the drawbridge mechanism, which would be for this part here. And it's going to be similar with this, and this here. I think these are just kind of meant to be buttresses. I don't think they should come the full way up the wall, maybe a part way. So for right now, I'm just going to go all the way down to the end here and fill out this area. And this is going to be a big one. Boom. Massive wall. And then we'll come fill out that later. We are going to have to be lowering this kind of down too, extending it downwards, so it kind of blends naturally into the super steep cliff that's going to be here too. And then same with this area here. I believe this and this is going to be a separate, shorter building. Everything else will be the tall towers around though. I think I'm going to make an executive decision that the wall itself will cross all the way over, and then this will be some kind of just arched entrance here onto the balcony area. That is the exterior part of the wall completed. Just need to do the interior part as well. There's a couple of parts as well where the wall, like here, here, and along here as well, that the wall cuts all the way up to the castle. So all this will be 27 foot high as well. Now we have it, the interior side of the walls completed as well. We do still need to cap them, but it's looking pretty sweet. Alright, and I think we're going to lay out the rest of the castle here, at least the interior walls of the first floor. And the problem with the various interior walls is that really they're only one, like they sit on the line between two grid units. So it's the kind of a debate on which side we end up putting them on. So a lot of this will be subject to change if we feel like it needs it. Certainly if it helps us either put secret passages in, if we want secret passages, or if it helps us to make different rooms different colors. This area here is meant to be a dining hall with a great big organ and a table centered in it. It's meant to be 4 of these units wide, and then next to it is meant to be a corridor which can access this area back here, and a little area back there too. So it's a debate of whether we want to cut this down here, make it an odd number in here, it's 11 wide, which is nice and easy to center stuff in, but then our double doors aren't going to be centered because they don't have anywhere to sit. It's going to be 4 on that side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that side. We could also move this wall in here. That leaves this corridor being 2 wide. If I push this out to the outside, then that corridor is only 1 wide, and that's just way too thin. These are the debates that we need to resolve here on these interior walls. Alright, and to round out this kind of first episode of Ravenloft here, I do want to work out where the next floor is going to be, so we can start planning our staircases and whatnot. Floor 2 of the castle, Court of the Count, is actually going to be split on 2 levels. So the servant court is about 20 foot lower. Maybe 10 foot lower than the rest of the castle. So the 2 staircases, where are we? The 2 staircases, the spiral staircase here, and the spiral staircase which will be over here. Those will be up 50 feet to the next floor. I believe the square staircase here will be up 50 feet as well. And same with this big spiral staircase. That big spiral staircase actually starts way over in here and spirals all the way around. So it's going to be huge. That goes up 50 feet as well to the next floor. The servant staircase over here, though, is only going up 30 feet. And then there's another little passageway between the 2 areas. Now, 50 foot is about 15 meters, just over. So we'll probably go up 15 blocks. Which is there. That's a huge difference between the heights of the floors. Alright, and the way we have this laid out, stairs might actually be our biggest problem, because coming off of here, it goes up halfway and then to a landing right here in this area. That is going to be impossible because the amount we can go up in 3 blocks is going to be 3 blocks if we use staircases. Okay, so with the way this staircase would be to meet between the halfway points here, we would end up coming out just over a unit further. So typically the landing should be right about here. That should be the end of that landing there. So it'd be like this. So we're coming out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 blocks in theory. Which I think, based on our spiral staircase here, right around this point and go up, will quite possibly get in the way. So we're going to go up a little bit here, and then we're going to do a H-sill 7. We'll do it out of glass. So this would be the edge of the stairs. And then that would be wall along there, wall along there, wall along there. So this would need to be surrounded by wall. In that case, we would have wall along here. And then we'd be looking to fit that staircase in right next to it. That's pretty tight. And then we'll remake that 1 block over. So that now butts up against there, up there, up there, and gives this area just a tiny, tiny bit more room right here. Now we could just take some creative liberties and put a couple of balconies in here. So we'll go up 3. Or, well, let's do, okay. That's going to be wall. So then we can do a 2 wide balcony there. Go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a 2 wide balcony. Alright, that's the creaky staircase there with some slight artistic liberties. The question is, we've got several other staircases here, and we're kind of boxing ourselves in now. So we're going to have the servant staircase coming up. We're going to have the spiral staircase going around, which kind of has to end about there. I think the spiral one's going to be fine, because we've got plenty of room to go up in the big spiral. Now, we do have this long staircase here, which curves round. This only goes up about 30 foot, and then goes to a small landing, and then there's another area. So, 30 foot is 9 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's about the height that we're going to want to go to. If we know we want to go up 10, and in fact it does kind of curl at the end as well, so really speaking, we're going to want to, we can just start from the top here, really, and go like that. And then start bringing it down this way. Which actually gives us plenty of room. That's not terrible. It's not great. It does end up right at the end here. It goes a little further than it's meant to. So the only other section of the castle on the second floor, which has 30 foot height, the same as this here, is a small section just above here where these stairs that are going to go up here lead up to. Now, interestingly, these stairs do curve as they get to the top, which is not something we can super easily replicate. At least with stairs like this, a kind of gentle curve. And if we go with slabs, we'll never have the height to get up here. So then there's one section here. This leads up to the next floor. It's about 6 blocks deep. It needs to lead up to this height here. But then this set of stairs here copies directly over to here. And then we have 2 staircases over here. One right there. And one right there, which reach up to the 2nd floor. There's also another big spiral staircase right in the middle here, but that bypasses floor 4. It just goes all the way up. So yeah, if we want to do a spiral that size, we are cutting in slightly here. That'll be okay. It's a question of whether I can get down. Yeah, we should be able to work this out because we shouldn't need to interact with that area at all. So we just have to cut this in slightly, put the statue a bit there. That should work fine. And if we're lucky, this assembly will end pointing in that direction on the right floor. We'll find out in just a second here. Not quite. We would want a landing here. Well, a landing at 159. Oh, 158. Hang on. Yeah, this works. Okay. So we'll put our full block landing here. And then I think that continues to spiral up another bit. But also comes out right into another room here. Okay, good. That works. Actually, looking at it again, this landing should be coming out right up over here, pointing in this direction. Unfortunately, being at that height, will cut off our continued climb. We bring the landing out like that. Actually, it's okay. It's tight, but it's functional. We just have to do that kind of janky looking thing there. It works though. Okay. And then this corridor continues on going in that direction, and then we'd have another spiral going up, which would probably end up being very tight. But hopefully should fit. That's definitely not going to fit, is it? Okay, yeah, that comes a little high when completing that entire turn there. Annoyingly, there's one block too high. Where do we want to stretch out those blocks? Like, we could easily lower a couple of sections of this here. Like, push this back, that will save us half a block. This staircase I'm not too worried about at all. I know it starts in this location and then spirals up. I think it does about 1 rotation. Well, not even 1 full rotation. It's going to end up on the next floor, somewhere about there. It's such a big spiral, we're going to have huge amounts of room to play with. So I'm not worried about that one at all. These ones we're going to have to shift and play around with. That staircase is good, that staircase is good, and that staircase up all the way up to there is good. The lowest floor plan layout is good. We'll need to work on the upper floors, and then the floors above that. We do have the other various staircases which go between floors and skip this floor, and the staircase which come up from here. But I think that's going to do it for our first episode of building Ravenloft. Join me in a couple of weeks where we will continue the build here. Once the build is done, there'll be a full time-lapse video available as well. And we're going to work on some other builds. Ideas I have on the Adlington server. I want to build a Beauxbaton school of witchcraft and wizardry. That's based on a couple of pictures I've seen on ArtStation. I'd also like to do a Ravnica-inspired build, the city-state of, or the city-plane of Ravnica. That's going to be a massive build across an entire desert. I would also like to do a Rapture-style build. I have plans to do some kind of city. I'm not sure if I just want to do generic city. I also want to do something kind of based on Ottawa, and I would like to do some kind of cyberpunky inspired city. If you would like to assist or do any of your own mega projects or just general survival stuff, this is Build as a Survival Plus server. You are intended to be in survival, but there are ways, and there will be more ways, for you to obtain creative-like powers and work in creative ways in certain areas of the map. There is more information in another video on my channel announcing the relaunch of the server. We also have Adland, which I'm currently constructing. That's going to have some games in there, and everybody else is free to build their own games in there. Currently just King of the Ladder and Spleef. I'm also working on some board games, including Clue, Pandemic, Gravwell. Again, if you would like to join, this server is open to all patrons of the Adlington Patron server, and if you subscribe in the next couple of days to Patron, you will receive one of the tissue paper ghosts that I have hanging in my room, because I have made too many tissue paper ghosts over the last couple of Spooktobers, and I'm going to give them away to $5 patrons or higher. You can also earn a whole bunch of new merch. There's a whole bunch of merch coming on to the Adlington Patron. There is, I think, 8 in total. You can earn about 4 a year. There are mugs, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, whole bunch of unique and exclusive items to Patron. So go and check those out as well. Designs on some of them are still being finalized. And if you are a Twitch subscriber, you also gain access to the server. You don't gain any of the other patron perks, unfortunately, but you do gain access through Twitch, which you can also use your Prime subscription for, or if you are lucky enough to be gifted a sub by one of our generous community members, then you can join onto the server as well. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next Ravnica build video. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.